I appreciate you guys talking about these hot young girls and everything, but no one feels emotional about us growing old with these people, and we're at the 66% point of our lives now, and what are we doing to excite ourselves and find meaning in our lives?
We've solved all the problems in our lives, Brian. We found all the meaning. I'm just being
Damn, when did I get off the train?
Welcome back to 2.5 Chicks. It's me, Tess, and Monica, and Brian.
Hi.
Hello.
And tonight, I think we're just shooting the shit, aren't we, guys?
Sure.
Our guest was supposed to be here tonight, but she couldn't make it, so now we're just going to make it up as we go.
Okay, so why don't you start us off?
So I just wanted to say, I called Tess the other day, and I had one of those memories come up on my Facebook page, and it said 9 years ago, and there's a picture of Tess and I, and it's when I flew out to California after my huge argument with my ex. And I flew out to California, saw Tess after like 30 years, and met the devil. Basically, completely just
changed her life.
Flipped my life upside down. And it's been 9 years.
I had wondered why you remembered the exact date, but it was a Facebook memory. That makes sense.
Yep. It was the picture when you and I were driving.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I just think about it. So I was talking to Emma about it, and I was like, I have to tell you something. And she's like, what? I said, I had a Facebook memory pop up 9 years ago. I flew out to see Tess, and she's like, oh, that's cool. And I said, well, there's the story behind it about me, flying out there, meeting the devil, getting divorced, going through a whole whirlwind of, Monica hearing all my stories, dealing with that. Tess, you having to deal with all that.
But isn't it interesting how that one moment changed the whole trajectory of your life?
100%.
I mean, that in itself is a crazy topic.
It is. It's 100% true. So the point, like you said, the point being is like, you think you have your life planned out and you don't. Yeah. Anything can happen at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you meet somebody who's going to be in your life forever or who's going to be in your life temporarily, right?
Yeah.
And then, that was something that was covered in that show One Day I told you guys about to watch, where one of the things the girl talks about is, there's like certain things you don't know in life, and there are certain people that will just make an impact on you and will change your life completely.
Yeah.
Right. But you don't know until afterwards.
And you'll do the same for somebody else.
Yeah. And there's sometimes when you meet people that you haven't known them that long, it's amazing that they can have such a strong impact in such a short time.
Yeah.
True.
It's very, very true. I think we talked about this maybe a little bit in the past, how I had a kid back when I was in 8th grade, how I was getting bullied, and I met this kid. He moved in from California. He befriended me, and we were, friends for 1 year, and then he disappeared. I know we talked about this in the past. It's crazy how this person came into my life and it completely changed my world after that. I wound up with a whole new set of friends.
Do we have somebody in our life that we can think of right off the top of our head that changed our life forever?
Yeah, I'm talking about it right now.
But is it just that one person, or is it another person?
That one, right as at this point in my life.
But are you talking about changing the trajectory and what was happening in his life, or changing him? Either or?
Either or, I guess. But Brian, just talking the story about the memory, that was definitely changed your life. It changed you.
Yes.
Changed everything.
It did.
It changed you a lot.
Yes. It changed my trajectory and me, personality-wise.
Yeah, but you became like you completely stopped all of the extracurriculars.
Yes. I kept my dick in my pants.
I know. Why am I being polite about it?
It's like, I don't know, Tess. Oh my God. Yeah.
So it did change you too, not just your trajectory.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like that person completely, like the whole meet cute that we had, the way her and I got along, it completely changed my whole life. It made me think about love differently.
Yeah. It's just kind of an amazing story when you think that you saw this picture online.
Yeah.
And then you met her in person.
6 months pregnant.
Right. And your interest didn't wane at all.
Not even close.
From the moment you saw the picture until the end.
Yep.
Do you think, Brian, that you were so eager to have your fairy tale love story that you invented it in your head in a way?
Well, I was having my fairy tale love story a lot.
Well, fucking people isn't your fairy tale love story.
Well, I was making it my fairy tale love story though, because I was very romantic with all of the women I was with. Like I made it
that's true.
I was
Yeah.
dining
True.
and dating and hotels.
Did you feel like you were in love with all of them though?
In the moments, like, you know where you said to me one time, you and Tess both said to me, I believe you believe that right now. I wasn't in love, don't get me wrong, but I felt like in the moment that nobody else mattered.
You were enamored.
In the moments, yes. So the minute I was with somebody, I didn't think about my ex. I didn't think about the other girls. I thought about that specific girl. Then when that moment ended, I'd move on to the next one and I wouldn't think about anything. I would just live in those moments. But skipping the rock across the pond and creating all these ripples, the one that stayed with me was the trip out to see Tess, you know, getting reunited with her and then meeting the devil. And it just completely changed my world. And it was almost like a prep to having to move to the West Coast. It's crazy.
That's when you first started thinking about it, for sure.
Yes.
I'm curious, Brian, have you looked her up to see what she's up to?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to lie about that. Of course I did. And I did see a picture of her, but there's only like one picture of her where she works. You know what I mean? And it's like, she looks the same. I think I showed you. I thought you showed both of yous.
Which was
I think you did.
kind of a surprising thing because she wouldn't work when you were with her.
Yeah, she refused to work. I don't know. I just think she hit her head someplace along the line. And
Yeah.
it's funny because I think her whole world flipped upside down right when I met her. And then but when we broke up, it's like, I guess she found her way again. So I almost feel like, was I the one fucking up her life?
No.
Which could have been true because it was a long distance relationship.
No, having that kid fucked up her life
Yeah,
for
that's
a while.
fair.
I mean, it just threw her off course because she was on a course and then she got pregnant and that affected her, at least the professional path she was on.
Yeah. But yeah, I did look her up. It's not like I go crazy looking her up all the time. You know what I mean? But like there was a couple of moments where I was like, all right. And it's not because it's like, oh, I want to get back and I'm interested. It's because it ended so abruptly and cold. And it's like there was no closure.
It was so dramatic too. It was the whole thing was like a TV show or something.
It's so funny because you think getting punched in the shower and getting into a fight with the guy that she's sleeping with would have given me closure, but it didn't. It never gave closure. So it's crazy. Like the closure at that moment was fine. It's like, okay, you were cheating, fight in the shower, blah, 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 blah. But like there was no emotional closure, you know?
Yeah.
And then her taking no accountability for it, try to reach out to say, okay, this is what happened and this is why I did. None of that ever happened. And I'm like, I don't care why you did it. Just tell me the truth. You know, just talk to me about it. And I can get over things.
Do you think it hurts because there was no remorse on her end? Like she just did not give a shit.
And don't get me wrong, I totally, in the grand scheme of karmic life, deserved this.
You did say that at the time.
Exactly.
You got karma'd. You said you
totally
got karma'd.
You know, I get it. But, you know, that's still like, after that, it was funny because I was such a hypocrite. I turned into like, Mr. I don't cheat. I don't do this. I'm like, I didn't deserve this. I totally deserved it.
Not with her, no. Going back to that thing about looking people up, though, I mean, isn't it kind of human nature, depending on how something ends, to want to look into the life of the person that's no longer in your life?
Yes.
I have done
because
that.
I still looked up that kid that I met in 8th grade to see if I could find him. He don't exist anymore. I don't know. He's like a mythological creature.
Oh, yeah. I look up the one boyfriend that I really, really, really liked in college. I haven't looked him up recently. It's been a while. But I did look him up when Facebook came out, and he's happily married. I did not reach out to him. I left him alone.
I just think it satisfies some kind of curiosity inside of us.
Yeah, it did.
I think it's normal. I think if we polled 100 people, I would say 99 of them probably looked somebody up at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I think it depends on how things ended, but yeah.
Do you think that you guys changed anybody's life when you walked into it? Like, can you think of somebody who's like, oh my God, I had to affect that life?
I mean, I don't know about if I affected somebody's life, but I know there have been a few people who have affected mine in big ways. I mean, Brian, for me, you were definitely a person who affected my life. I know Brian's going to
I
start
hope it
crying.
was a positive way.
Of course it was. I've told it before that I had very bad trust with men. And you I learned how to be comfortable around men after I got to know you. And it's funny because Brian and I met, what is it, Brian? We met in like 2000. I think it's going to be 2005.
You're better with the numbers than me.
I remember we met in 2005, and Brian, worked in the our old area's warehouse, and I go into the warehouse because I didn't know anybody. I had just started and I needed something shipped, and I go in there, trying to ask, like, can I get this shipped? And Brian, and I once described it as he was yelling, but he really wasn't yelling. He was barking, okay? Like, metaphorically barking, but he was barking. And he was just like barking at some of the guys because they didn't do something or something. So I'm like walking up to him, and I still was very insecure at this point, not a lot of confidence. And I'm walking up, and he just starts barking, and I'm just looking at him like, oh my God, this guy's going to bark at me. He's got the country music at loud volume. And I was so afraid of him. After that, I kept away from him for like the longest time. So it was funny because we knew each other for like 10 years, probably, or more. And we never became friends until I joined his team.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I went out of my way to be disrespectful or talk to her. I didn't know her. Like, I knew she worked for the company, but it's not like, but Monica
I was just quiet.
She was very quiet. She wasn't unapproachable. You know what I mean? Like, Monica is very dismissive, and she still has that dismissive look on her face all the time. So it's not someone that you would actually go up to and start having a conversation with because she's so aloof with,
It's my ADD. I'm like thinking about 15 different things at the same time. So
I get it.
That's really what it is.
How about you, Tess?
I would say my husband, to be honest. I mean, I changed the trajectory of his life big time.
Yeah.
Just by being who I am. And I've had communications with my ex as well, but I don't know. Like, I don't really.
Have you ever looked up your ex on Facebook to see what he's up to?
Well, I didn't have to because he was always looking me up. Like, he was always, he was trying to. Well, the thing is when he and I split up, I cut him off. Like, because I kept going back. So when we finally divorced, I cut him off. I cut all contact. And that was really difficult for him.
Oh, yeah. That makes it more appealing for us.
Yeah. So he just needed, like, we weren't Facebook friends for many, many years. And then he asked me to be Facebook friends. And I said, look, I don't want any drama. And he goes, no drama. And I'm like, okay. But he wanted to peek into my life on Facebook. And then once he did, he disappeared again. He got what he needed.
Oh, I agree with that, Tess, though, wholeheartedly. If you see the person, you could see what their life has become, then you kind of go, okay, I can move on.
Yeah.
That not knowing is so weird. It's such a strange feeling.
Yeah.
I guess because you think in your head, do you remember me? Did I mean anything to you?
Yes. I think that's a part. Not that you could find that out by looking at their Facebook page, but you're right. It's that part of me. Like, it's like that. I don't know if it's that egotistical side of us or was this a waste? Did I just waste my time?
It makes me think of Taylor Swift's song, Wildest Dream, where she's talking to the guy and she's saying, tell me that I'll mean something. Tell me that it means something to you, even if later on we break up and stuff like that.
She's telling that to an actual current lover?
Yeah, like she's talking about how like she's with this guy and she knows that it's temporary. And she's telling him, like, in the future, when you think of me, tell me that it will mean something. Can you pretend that it's going to mean something to you when you think about us in the future?
I think that's when it means the most, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you're with someone in the present, you're like, yeah, of course this probably means something to you. But if you still mean something later on.
And, does the person mean something to you, or does the experience you had with them mean something?
I think it's the experience. Yeah. It's absolutely the experience. Because if the person's no longer in your life, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
My high school boyfriend was a really, really good guy. And I dated him on and off all through high school. And I ended up breaking up with him because he didn't give me enough attention. And I ended up with my ex-husband. But my ex-husband stomped on my heart a bit. And the high school boyfriend wouldn't have done that. And when I broke up with him, he wasn't happy with me. He was like, you knew I always wanted to marry you. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And he took it gracefully, and I ended up carrying on with my ex. But he was a really good guy. And he taught me a lesson that sometimes needing more attention isn't really the best wasn't really the best thing for me. I ended up with my husband, who was a lot like my high school boyfriend was. So it kind of came full circle. And I learned a valuable lesson that my being impatient with our circumstances, or how I perceived he was acting, wasn't necessarily an indication of how he felt for me.
Right. Oh, that's a good point.
Do you think if you had not cared about that and you would have just like not gotten bothered by it, you think you would have still stayed with him?
I don't know. I mean, he was a great guy. I was madly in love with him. I really
It was
was.
young love, though. Wasn't she like your first love?
Second, but yeah, it was my second love. My first love I got pulled away from when I got pulled across the country.
Oh.
It was funny because I went to visit him. I felt he was really angry with me when I broke up with him because of the way I did it. And so I went to visit him at college. And when I got there, a girl answered the door to his dorm room. And I had already broken up with him, so I had no leg to stand on.
Oh, I thought you were just interested in her.
No. What? I didn't know that about myself back then. But anyway, she answered the door, and he told me that she had a crush on him, so she used to come clean his room just to hang out with him. Well,
Wow.
he ended up marrying her.
Oh.
And they had 3 children, and he's got grandchildren now, and she's never worked a day in her life. He's supported her and been really good to her, and they're happy. They've been together all this time. So,
Wow.
Things happen the way they're meant to happen.
That's so true.
He called me up and he goes, he wanted to be the one to tell me that he was getting married, even though we weren't really in touch, but he didn't want me to hear it through the grapevine, which I really respected. And when he told me he was marrying her, he told me it was the girl that I saw when I came to his dorm. And I go, "You're marrying the maid?" And he goes, "I'm marrying the maid."
Yeah, because she was cleaning his room.
Same thing.
Right. But I meant it as a joke. Obviously, I completely respected their relationship.
I'm going to change topics a little bit because it's so funny. We were in the car and I said, talked to my buddy today. We're planning our Vegas trip. We went to Taco Bell to go get a quick dinner because I had the shakes from like not eating anything. And I didn't want to cook anything tonight because we knew we were doing this. So I got mad because I had to pay $4 for a taco at Taco Bell. Right?
Ooh.
Wow. It used to be like 59 cents or 99
used
cents.
to be, yes. Like you could get a Taco Supreme back in the day for like 60 cents or something. Now they're $4.
Yeah.
Shame on me for eating Taco Bell. I live in Reno, Nevada, where there's a lot of street tacos everywhere. Don't get me wrong. But like we got back and we were cleaning the garage out real quick. And I have this, I bought teeth whitener. So she says to me, your instructions for the teeth whitening thing is on the ground over here. She goes, "When do you plan on whitening your teeth?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm waiting for Joey to come out."
Oh, no. It's like she's not worth it. You're doing it for Joey.
Exactly.
As a woman, I knew exactly how she could take that.
I wasn't, and I meant because I said, "Oh, I want to save it for when we go on the trip. I want my teeth cleaned. I want to, get myself freshened up and everything." And I was like, "Hey, I got to get my teeth cleaned from a soulmate if you really need to know the answer." She's like, "It sounds weird. Like, here you are. You just told me, we're going on a fishing trip when he gets out here, and I don't feel like driving all the way to Lake Tahoe." So I got us a room at one of that Harvey's. Remember we stayed at Harvey's, Tess, the casino?
Yeah.
So Joey and I are going to stay at that same Harvey's. And she's like, "I don't know. You're getting hotel rooms. You're whitening your teeth." I said, "It's no secret that Joey is my soulmate. You need to get past
funny.
this."
That's true.
That's awesome. He is a really good friend.
Yeah. Oh
He
my
does.
God.
He loves Brian a lot.
Em and I were playing, they have a little par 3 golf course over here the other day. She's like, I'm so glad that you like to play golf with me. Like most guys don't want to play golf with their girls. And I was like, "Oh, well, you're like my best friend." She's like, "Well, Joey's your best friend." I said, "That's not true. Joey's my soulmate."
Oh, jeez.
I think she would have liked it to be the opposite.
Yes, she knows it. She accepts it. Okay, I'm going to change the subject again. Sorry.
Go for it.
That's okay.
Because I got to see if anybody else has this issue. Okay, we're older now. Okay. So my sister sent me a text and she was like, "I'm so tired of mom. My mom's going to be 84, right? So she sits in the house all day. She got nothing else to do. She's not going. You're not getting in the car and cruising the neighborhood." So she watches like soap operas and reruns of all these old shows, right? And my sister gets mad at her for it because that's all she talks about. It's like, "Okay, Ma, talked about this 30 years ago." We were still talking about it, right? But I caught myself, I keep buying movies on Apple and Amazon Prime and stuff. And I was watching the movie Can't Buy Me Love, and I got emotional watching the damn thing.
Is that the one with the Patrick Dempsey?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
She makes him over.
She asks her mom if she can borrow an outfit. She says no, a suede outfit. Kid spills wine all over it. It's $1,000 to replace it. And he was going to buy a telescope for $1,000. And he sees her at the mall arguing with the guy, "Please," and he goes over there and he says, "I want to rent you."
No.
So she's going to make him popular. But I watched this movie. Now she's dead in real life. That girl that he
She
was.
is?
Yes.
What's her name?
I forgot.
I mean, Patrick Dempsey's still around and he's got great freaking hair. I don't know if it's real, but his hair is beautiful.
That I wasn't expecting.
I think her name is Amanda something. Amanda Peterson. She played Cindy Mancini. But yeah, she was in that, and I was like, oh my God. And Seth Green was so little in the movie.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm watching this movie, and I'm getting a little like emotional watching this, thinking, this came out in 1987, 17 years old. I remember going to the movies to see this movie.
Oh my God.
And here we are, 30 some years later. I'm still watching the movie. So I catch myself, I'm watching, I'm doing what my mom's doing, but I'm doing it much earlier.
She was born 2 days before me, and she died in 2015. She died at age 43.
That's young.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Why did she die?
She had, I think, a heroin overdose.
Oh.
Do you guys watch old movies? And go oh man, this is...
No.
No?
Yeah, sometimes.
No, I only watch new stuff.
D, let me ask you, do you do any of that?
Yes, all the time.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's a guy thing.
But wait, are you saying do you watch old movies and get emotional, or do you watch old movies?
I don't think Demetrius gets emotional.
Wow. Wow.
I'm an emotional D on that note.
Okay, Demetrius, Brian's levels of emotional is very different.
Yeah, I know. I don't get that emotional. No.
You don't cry.
I tear up.
That's good.
I will tear up in movies. I will tear up. I very rarely cry.
It depends on the movie, Brian, to answer your question. I mean, I can get a lump in my throat or tear up at a movie, but if it was Can't Buy Me Love, I probably wouldn't.
No, I meant not because of the movie, not because of the topic and all the stuff going on there, but I'm talking about like the whole, we're getting older. Because these people, when you looked at these people, right, you watch this TV show, if you never seen these guys in anything else, you see Patrick Dempsey as a 18-year-old dude playing
So
this
young.
role. And then you realize, oh my God, I was the same age as this guy.
Yeah.
And now you see him now and you're like, shit, he's old. This isn't the same kid that was in that movie cutting grass. This is an old guy. And now I'm the old guy with him.
Oh, yeah, we're all getting older.
I know, it's depressing sometimes.
Is that why you cried while watching it?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, Jesus, Christmas, I'm getting old.
I thought the story was making you
No,
emotional.
hell with the story.
Oh,
I watched those movies because they made better movies back then. That's why I watched it.
Definitely no. I don't get emotional over how old they are or anything. No.
and you can feel better a little bit, Brian. Patrick Dempsey is older than you.
But not by much, right?
No, probably like 4
a couple
years.
years older than me. And he looks good still. I got to just go off of that. But it's just weird seeing these guys. It's just like, I'm getting old too. Like I think about all these old, like remember when George Clooney was the hottest thing in the world and stuff like that? Now people are like, oh, he's old.
Yeah, but he still looks good.
He still does look good.
But it's like they're just getting older.
I know he's getting into what Sean Connery used to be, right?
Yes,
Like Sean
yes.
Connery used to be an older actor who was handsome, right?
And he's on the cusp, right?
And now other actors that were really like punks when they were young are now
Yeah.
getting to the older man, good looking, right?
This is what I wind up thinking about. I wind up thinking about like we're in this era, right? Our age group is in this era of like the Clooneys, the Pitts, the Cruises,
Oh,
right?
the Gen X's.
And we're all growing together. And the Leah Thompsons and stuff, we're all growing
Mhm.
old together. And then we're going to see them start falling off the map.
And now you see their kids are adults
Yeah.
and acting. Look at Uma Thurman's daughter, Maya Hawke.
I don't know who she is.
I don't either.
She was in the show Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, I never
She
saw that.
looks. It's funny because she looks like she's a cross between Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke.
What's her
Oh,
name?
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why, right? Maya Hawke. Her name is Maya Hawke. Look
Oh,
her up,
Maya.
Brian. You'll see.
Hawk.
Then Leah Thompson has a daughter. I can't
Oh, yeah.
remember what her daughter's name is.
She's cute too.
Mm-hmm.
Maya Hawke is cute.
Oh, yeah. She's
Oh.
very pretty. You should look her up, Tess. She's very, very pretty.
Yeah, Maya Hawk's okay.
She's a
What did
treasure.
you say is cute then, Brian?
Look up Leah Thompson's daughter.
Leah Thompson's daughter. Yeah, she's cute as hell.
Well, what's her name?
Mhm.
I don't know.
I
So
forgot.
just look up Leah Thompson's daughter.
Just-
It's
People
Zoe,
like us only remember the
Zoe-
names from the 80s.
What's her name? Zoe Deutsch or something like that?
Yeah, she's got her father's name.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
Phil Collins' daughter is Lily Collins.
Isn't Lily Collins the one that was Emily in Paris?
Yes, that's Phil Collins'
I
daughter.
didn't know that was Phil Collins' daughter.
Phil Collins.
I meant Phil Collins, you know.
Lily. I mean, is it good Phil?
Yeah.
Lily?
Oh, I've seen this girl. I didn't know that was Leah Thompson's daughter.
Yeah, she was in that one. This is the End or something like that. That was a good movie she was in.
She was in a movie where she kept dying over and over.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm still trying to figure out where I've seen this chick.
Which who? Zoe
on.
Deutsch?
Yeah.
Is it Deutsch? How do you say her name?
Conversation.
I know. She has been in Vampire Academy, something called Dirty.
Okay, I don't see most things that most people see. All right, anyway. She was in Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah.
I saw that. She was in Switched at Birth. Okay, anyway, sorry.
No,
I digress. And who was the other one?
Maya Hawke?
Now I need to look her
She
up.
was in Stranger Things. That's where she became real famous.
Oh, wait, I never saw that.
It's hilarious. She's like a cross between her mother and father. Hilarious.
Yeah, she does look like a cross.
Well, somebody once told me that if a kid looks more like one parent than the other, that means that during conception, that parent put in more work.
What?
That's what somebody told me.
Crap is that?
I know.
Wait, I thought if you have,
Hilarious.
if you have a child doggy style, the kid doesn't come out with a tail.
Oh my God.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
Or reverse cowboy. How come the kid doesn't come out with a cowboy hat and a mustache?
All right, well, my kid is a combo kid.
Yes.
He looks like both of us. So what the fuck does that mean?
Your kid looks more like your side of the family than his side.
He's got me from the nose up and his dad from the nose down.
It's true. He has your eyes. He definitely has your eyes. He's got his dad's hair too, right?
Yeah, and he had his dad smile before we had his teeth done. Like he had his teeth pointed the same way, a little bit in, like Tim's do. But then his smile changed when we had Invisalign. But he's here down, his dad. He's here up. He's me.
For the record, she's not saying from her waist down is her. Okay.
I'm sorry, from the nose down.
She's
Father.
Yeah, I know.
Mother.
I
But anyway,
know.
I think we put in a lot of work. I guess we both put in work.
Yeah, it's funny. But I mean, my one son who looks half like me, looks half like his father, definitely was both of us putting in the work. I put in more work that day. And then for my other son, my ex-husband put in most of the work and he looks a lot like my ex-husband. So there.
That's funny. Well, I don't know. We were having trouble conceiving and we were like doing the whole scientific thing around it. And finally we got sick of it and we just like put something down on the living room floor and like drank a bunch of wine off each other's bodies. I don't know if you'd call that work at
Oh,
all.
you boys enjoyed it.
There's a saying that says mama's babies, papa's maybe.
What?
So
What the heck does that
Because you don't know
mean?
who the father is? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh my
Mama already
goodness.
knows that baby's hers. She conceived that. She had that baby. Maybe the guy was the dad. Oh yeah.
Well,
maybe.
when you look at some kids, it's not
exactly,
It's, you know,
not
you can
very
you can
obvious.
tell who the dad is. Yeah.
Well, there's a saying in Spanish that a mother-in-law says to her daughter-in-law, which is actually pretty damn rude. She says, children of my daughter, I know they are. Children of my son, I don't know if they are.
That's kind of what you're saying, right, Brian?
Well, it would have been better if it rhymed, but yes, it's a
Well,
fact.
probably maybe rhymes in Spanish.
Oh, we'll say it in Spanish.
Hijos de mi hijas sé que son. Hijos de mi hijos no sé si son.
Okay, There you go. Sounded so much better that way. You just put the little translation on there. That sounded much better. I think I look more like my mom than my dad. You know, I think my whole family looks the same, but I don't think a lot of us look like my dad.
You don't think you have some of your dad under the nose?
I think you
Like,
do,
down here?
Brian.
Maybe
Yeah.
a little bit.
I think you do.
My underdeveloped chin.
Underdeveloped?
That's what
What are
this
you
is called.
talking about?
When you have like the chin with the little thing here,
Yeah, they call that underdeveloped?
it's underdeveloped. My jaw should have
square
been a lot
chin.
square. Yeah, I could have been
Like the
a
cartoons,
superhero. Yes.
whenever they make a handsome person in a cartoon, he always has like a square jaw.
That's
for
exactly
man,
right.
anyway.
That's why I grow my little
Oh,
white beard
goodness.
out a little bit to make it look like a superhero.
You always have whiskers on your face, right? Do you have a cleft chin?
Yes, I can't because if I take all this off, I look like a bird. Look at the size of that nose.
Your
I look
nose
like
is
a big,
not big.
bird.
Your nose
No
is not
way.
big, Brian. I've seen big noses. It's not big.
Thank you. You guys got anything you guys want to talk about? I know I kind of hogged this.
No, actually, I did have a question in my head that popped up when we were talking, and now I forgot it. I'm sorry.
Yep, this is definitely our podcast. Just old enough to forget what we were thinking about.
I had something this morning and then I got in my car for work and I couldn't even remember it. I'm like, shit. And I was like, come on, remember. And I couldn't. And it was a good
You're going to wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning going, oh, penises and apple pie.
I'm gonna text you all so that we don't forget it.
You're going to remember, and then you're not going to be able to go back to sleep. And that's the story of our life right now for everybody our age.
That's true. Once I'm up, I'm up.
Oh, that's it. I hate it because then I'm so tired.
It's not always that way for me. It happens once in a while, but for the most part, I can keep sleeping. It's falling asleep at night that I can't do.
Really? I'm the opposite. When I hit that bed, like I'm out in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Max.
That's because you live conscience free. You have nothing in your head, Monica. You just living a good life.
I guess. Thank you.
I'm like in bed and oh my God, it's like a hamster on a wheel doing 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's so fast that the hamster's spinning with the wheel. It's not keeping up with the wheel. So then I got to watch a movie and then I'll fall asleep to a movie like Jaws or something. And then I'll have a dream where me and Matt, Hooper are having a drink somewhere on a carnival ride. You ever have that weird stuff happen when you watch a movie and you fall asleep to it? And then while the movie's still playing in reality, you're sleeping and your subconscious is picking it up.
Yeah.
And you have these weird dreams that have to do with the people or a scene or a plot in the movie. No,
I don't know. I don't fall asleep with the TV on, but I have weird ass dreams.
Okay.
I can't remember my dreams.
And the most random people show up in my dreams. Like people that I know that are completely unrelated, they show up in ways that are completely not realistic to real life. I have no idea why.
Right. And they probably don't even look like them. You just know the name, but they can look like a penis-shaped submarine, right? But it's the same. But you're like, oh my God, that's Jack, right? You're like, what the hell? You don't have that happening?
Do you have a recurring theme in your dreams, Tess?
Well, typically, and it's probably just because of my life, but it's like I'll get into a stressful situation in the dream and I can't find a solution. It just loops and loops and loops and loops. And that happens a lot in my dreams.
Could you have an example of a scenario?
No, unfortunately I don't. But it could be all over the place. It could be like, oh, there's a wedding and I have to get the wedding cake done and like I have all these blockers and it's like it's not like things aren't moving. It's just that it's like looping the same issue and I'm struggling and struggling and struggling and it's not. So I guess I did have an example. But
Just as having Groundhog Day dreams.
Yeah, but the thing is it's like I think it's because in my life I kind of feel that way about my job. Like I feel like I'm constantly underwater and I can't fix it. Mm-hmm. And so I think that in my subconscious somewhere.
Yeah, you're projecting into your dreams. Yeah.
And I often have dreams like where if shitty things happen in reality, I'll dream about them because they're still upsetting me somewhere in my brain. Yeah. So I'll have dreams about them.
Do you remember all your dreams?
No, not all of them.
Okay.
Or if I remember them, they start to fade as soon as I wake up.
I have that same problem. You're in that twilight morning area where you can remember that dream. Yeah. And then the minute you get up to go pee or brush your teeth, you're like, shit, what the hell did I dream?
Yeah. And sometimes it sucks when it's a good one. Do you guys ever dream about people then where you're physically getting together with them and you're like, why am I getting together with this person in my dream?
I've had those dreams. Not a lot, but I've had them, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are weird because you're like, I don't feel that way about that person in reality. Why am I having that kind of a dream?
Sometimes I wake up and say, how come I didn't have a wet dream from that?
I never thought
it's like some of them are so vivid. And I'm like, God, I look down, there's all nothing. I'm like, come on.
There are times where I wake up from a dream like that, though, and I'm pissed that I woke up. Because I'm like,
yeah, I'll wake up from them dreams and I'll like kind of look over at them. And it's like, ooh, sorry about that.
I have sex with females in my dreams sometimes that I have never like landed.
That you've never met?
Like young girls or like really beautiful girls that I haven't, like I have never, I mean, I've been with some really beautiful girls, but you know what I mean?
Oh, did you know these young girls or they're just imaginary girls?
It's like I have some kind of bravado in my dreams when it comes to picking up women that I don't have like in real life.
This dream is like the theme of Saturday Night Fever and she's walking down Hollywood Boulevard.
No, it's much more quiet than that. It's like I'm not doing a lot to pick them up, but then all of a sudden I'm in their pants. I don't know what it is. It's really weird.
Oh, jeez.
It's like really weird. Like it just, I don't know.
She's like a prison guard frisking people.
She's like Rico. She's like Rico Suave in her dreams.
I don't know.
She's got game.
Sometimes I have game in my dreams with chicks, and I'm like, where did that come from? I don't do that in real life.
Well, this is like when you go to you dream, and sometimes you dream about what you want.
You might be onto something there.
Right.
I do want to increase my confidence. That's for sure.
somebody once told me, and this is maybe bullshit. I never tried it because I don't want to remember my dreams, or I don't care about my dreams. But
that just sounds like such a negative thing. I don't care about my dreams. I don't want to remember my dreams.
What if there's messages in them?
Yes.
I guess. But somebody once said, if you want to remember your dreams, tell yourself before you go to sleep, I will remember my dreams.
Oh, I'll try that.
And you'll probably remember your dreams. I don't want to remember my dreams. I love it when I go to sleep. Like I said, I'm out in 5 minutes. The other day, I was tired in the middle of the day and I went on my bed and I took a nap. And it was like the best thing ever, because have you ever had that feeling when you're going to sleep peacefully and you feel yourself falling to sleep? Like you feel yourself going into the sleep mode?
Yeah.
It felt so good.
Fight it for a second.
Oh, I wasn't fighting it. I was like, I'm going to sleep. And I just know that I remember smiling. I was smiling to myself when I felt myself going into the sleep mode.
I remember as a kid, like it would be like a Sunday afternoon or something like that. And I remember it'd be a hot summer day and I'll be lying on the couch or something and then just kind of dozing off. Those are
great days.
Doze off days.
Those are great.
Like you hear like the distant sound of a mower, a lawnmower going, or a fan. And I don't have those anymore.
I don't remember ever napping.
I still have those.
I don't ever nap. I don't remember ever napping.
When I was younger, yeah.
Yeah.
Now my nap just happens right when I get home from work.
I don't nap now either. Like I cannot nap.
Really?
Not at all.
Well, I need to put a movie on, then I'll nap.
There you go.
I can nap, but I have to be tired. If I'm tired and I go to my bed, I will go to sleep.
That's
no matter what time it is.
Prerequisite for napping, Monica.
To be tired.
I gotta be tired to nap.
Like some people just like to take naps.
Yeah, some people take them almost every day.
Some people just take a nap no matter what.
I just can't.
I can invest in one of them like sleep pods.
In that whole thing about a power nap, that doesn't work for me either.
Those work for me.
Not for me.
I've had those.
If I'm not asleep for 2 hours, it takes me too long to wake up. It'd be taking me longer to wake up than the power nap itself. It takes me a while to wake up, man. Yeah.
So we're talking about napping. Monica's yawning.
Yeah, well, again, people in our 50s.
Well, I will say in closing, sorry that I hogged this with all my silly topics. And D, I'm really sad that you say you don't get that emotional. Like you're like downplaying my emotions there. It's kind of hurt me a little bit.
No. It's never about you. It's always about me. I'm a weirdo. So you're right.
Are you kidding me? I grew up thinking it was all about me. Now you're telling me it's about you? Now I got a complex.
And that's your problem. That's not me.
That's your problem.
Work it out.
I'll work it out.
This is one of our first full episodes that we recorded now that we're back. And we hoped you liked our shooting the shit.
There you go. Now Monica's going to remember her first dream and it's going to be a wacky one. I can't wait to hear about
my God.
This.
Well, yeah, hopefully you don't say, I'm going to remember my dreams tonight and it's a freaking nightmare.
I know. That's the funny thing. I don't think I have nightmares. Like,
oh my God.
I don't think I do.
That. Don't put that
but
out
I've told you guys that I used to always have a recurring nightmare. And I know you guys laughed about it, but I haven't had it in a while because I've been such a good student. But my one recurring nightmare I used to have for many years was that I would dream I was taking a class and I didn't study and then I got an F.
Aww.
And I would wake up so scared because I got an F.
That's your poor baby.